Welcome. Come on in so we can talk a little bit. We got some things to do. We just coming off a bye week, a long bye week. Football is just a lot less interesting when the Cowboys aren't playing, but it is what it is. So just to kind of fill this week up with some content, y'all have reached out and let me know that you want these soliloquies to stay. So we have one right now. We're going to break down my top 15 Cowboys at this point of the season. Is this the midpoint of the season? What is that? 17, 18 weeks? No, week 9 will be the midpoint. But this a middle enough point top 15 list, so let's get into it. So what we're gonna do with this list, I kind of wanted to make some rules. If you see me looking down, it's just the notes. I kind of wanted to set some rules, you know what I mean, just so I can look relatively consistent and how I can explain how I got guys ranked, how I got them. Basically 3 rules, right? It's how good you look individually, your impact on the team, and me being surprised does not give you points. Those are my 3 rules or whatever. Because if it was about surprised or you're playing over the level I think you would have played, then Terrence Steele would be number 1. We can't do that shit on this list. So it's gonna be pretty cut and dry, you know. And I think there should only be discrepancy about the bottom 3 or so guys or whatever. Like the top 11 should be, you know, we should all be simpatico in that. There's not going to be honorable mentions on this thing, you know. Losing is not honorable, so we're not going to mention those. Terrence still may be, but we got to get right to the top 15, man. So at number 15, I got Osa Odighizuwa, and I only mentioned my 2 guys that didn't make it, Terrence Steele and Anthony Brown. I mentioned those guys so I can explain to you how I feel like Osa made the list and they did not. I think Osa just made better impact. I think Osa has been overall better. And this isn't look at what the rookie's doing. You know what I mean? It's not one of those things, because he has been better than rookie Tristan and rookie Neville Gallimore. But like, besides rookie stuff, like, he's just been tearing shit up regardless of what his age is or what his rookie rank level, however many years played. Like, he's been tearing it up. Besides that, I'm not gonna say he's one of the better D tackles in the league. That'll be weird. But if you look at some of the numbers, some of the things that he's doing, he's in the good level of D tackles. Like, and how D tackles work or whatever, especially 3 techs, it's like the top 11 or so guys that's like elite. Then it's like a bunch of 40 or so guys that's just like regular starters. Then everybody else kind of trash. That's just kind of how the league works. Osa is in that group of 40 or so guys, and he's blending in really well with those dudes. And he's made some big impact on our team. So Osa's number 15. And I know Terrence Steele has been cool, but Terrence Steele, you know, we still got to give him a lot of help. I think our overall offense is taking a hit with Terrence Steele being a right tackle. He's been serviceable. He's done some pretty good work there. He's damn sure evolved as a run blocker, but it's a lot of help things that we do. You know, like Dak gets rid of the ball. Like, he's number 1 in getting rid of the football the fastest or whatever in the league. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, him just understanding Terrence Steele is over there. I think when Leal comes back, that gives us an opportunity for some more big plays. Speaking of big plays, AB, that's why he's not here. I just had to say that. Now moving on to 14. One half of the new attitude, you know, he has an interception. He should have 2, but if it wasn't for his blunder last week with Diggs, he should have 3 interceptions. But this is Kazee, Damontae Kazee. You know, we've been kind of looking for a free safety play for a long time, long time. And you know, Stephen Jones just kind of showed up at the damn Dollar Tree. You know what I'm saying? Stephen Jones pulled up the dirt cheap and found a daggum free safety. We got 2 free safeties. We got 5 safeties that could play. He pulled up to the dirt cheap and found a free and Damontae Kazee, and he's been pretty good. I said at first he's one half of the new attitude brothers that goes back into impact. Like, of course he's been you know, he's been making his tackles in the run game. He's been making plays in the passing game. 2 deflections, like I said, should have 3 interceptions. But I think he's also big hit guy. You know what I mean? And every defense kind of needs a big hit guy or 3. I think we also got that in Donovan Wilson whenever he comes back. You know, but Kazee lays wood over the middle. But also, too, just new attitude. Like, look at the energy that he brings to the defense, and that put him on this list. Because he got 1 interception, but like AB got 3. So he got 2 interceptions, you know what I mean? And one's a pick 6. But I think Kazee, what he does in terms of big hit role, what he does for the defense overall, what he does like range-wise or whatever, I think Kazee has done enough to work himself into the 14th spot. Man, I'm at about 3 minutes right now, and I only talked about 2 people. So we gonna move this thing along, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, Cousin Tony sitting at 13. I don't have to, I don't have to say too much about Cousin Tony. He makes his footprint. He looks better than Zeke sometimes, and whenever one of your backup guys step in, and it has people looking at Zeke like, oh, you know what I mean? I think that means a lot. Now, is Cousin Tony a product of the offensive line in front of him? I think half and half, like an Arnold Palmer, you know what I'm saying? I think he does do some things burst-wise. He does some things wiggle-wise, change of pace-wise Zeke doesn't do. He's proficient running the football. He's a special teams guy, things like that. But I also think the offensive line being immaculate is a reason why he's so dynamic. But that's why he's 13. Jayron Kearse. And I kind of had a problem putting Jayron Kearse right here because I feel like he should be higher. But, boy, we got some guys in this top 11. But Jayron Kearse is the other half of the new attitude. You know what I mean? Just him and Kazee, what they do for this defense energy-wise, right? Run, hit, and talk shit. When you hear that, that's them chanting it. You know what I mean? But Kearse makes all the plays in the run game. Makes plays in the pass. I think he has every stat except for an interception. You know what I mean? In terms of, I got tackles, I got pass deflections. You know what I mean? I'm doing run game things. I'm playing at free safety. I'm doing kicking game things. Like, he's all over the place. He's Swiss Army knife guy. He even pass rushes and gets sacks or whatever, right? So we talking about Kazee and his impact. In terms of being one half of the new attitude. That sounds like a wrestling group. Hey, y'all go to A to Z Sports Dallas. Go and tell Skywalker Steel that the new attitude. Ask him if that's a wrestling thing already, because it sounds like a wrestling thing. But Kearse and Kazee, they're the new tag team champions of the world. The new attitude. I love it. But he's another hit guy too. You know what I'm saying? And I think a part of the reason why Jayron is gone, because we feel pretty good about Kearse playing everywhere, and linebacker is a part of everywhere along with the guys that we have already. So there's Jayron Kearse. Micah Parsons is number 11, and I know the last thing y'all saw was his not so great game in New England, whatever. And I know it's easy to be I'm not gonna say microwave because y'all don't deserve that, but it's easy to be like, the last thing I saw is my last impression. I know it's easy to be that, but let's not do that with Micah Parsons and forget what he did the first 5 games of the year or whatever. Like, just saw how he was running all over the place in Tampa Bay, how he was running all over the place the Charger game. When he had to play full-time defensive end in the Charger game, when he was able to do pass rush wise. He got 2.5 sacks. I feel like he should have more, but you know how stats are. I feel like Parsons should have more than 2.5 sacks, but easily the best linebacker on our team. He's a 4-3 guy, so he's either a 4-3 linebacker or he's a 4-3 pass rusher, which is valuable on both ends. He didn't do much versus Belichick's Patriots or whatever, but you're bound to have a bad game here or there, sir. It's okay. I fully expect Micah Parsons to get back on this horse and correct his mistakes, watch a little bit of film, and continue to grow as a dynamic rookie. But he's still in rookie of the year conversation. Like, it's him and like Surtain or something, or whoever else playing good on defense as a rookie. JOK is looking good. But if Micah Parsons just gets back on this horse and goes and gets an interception, goes and gets a couple more sacks and pass deflections or whatever, Parsons will be right back in that conversation. And boy, let me just put defensive rookie of the year, because when I get into my conversation portion later, I'm just going to have to remember that when I look down at my paper. Let's get into the top 10. So I'm going to do it like this. At 9 and 10, I'm going to put them together as a pair because they come and go as a pair. Sedarian Lamb and Amari Cooper. I got Cooper at 9 over CD at 10. I'll tell you why in a minute, but I put them together, not together, but because they come and they go. It just depends on what the game plan is that week, and that's kind of how we've been running our offense or whatever, right? If we're having big run games from the running backs or whatever, then they're not going to get big yardages or whatever. But when it's time to depend on them, they about even. Like, they both get their catches, they both get their touchdowns or whatever. But I have Coop over CD because a lot of the success of the overall offense comes and goes with Amari Cooper. I posted a video. It was on my Twitter machine. Go follow it if you haven't, Voch Lombardi. And I posted the video here for y'all to see. Like, the attention that Coop demands allows freedom for everybody else. So if you watching the Patriot game, and yeah, CD gets, 100 and some change, however many catches and 2 touchdowns or whatever. Man, look, Coop still got 55 yards, but look at what he had to go through for Lamb to fly. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to impact. I think Cooper has the bigger impact on this team. Even though Lamb is making the plays, getting the yards and the stats, a lot of that is because of what Cooper was able to do. And I feel like I had to put that clip out. It's on my YouTube, it's on my Twitter or whatever. Just type in Cooper gets triple team. I had to put that clip out to be able to explain shit like this, man. Like, the attention that Cooper gets lets everybody else eat. I think that's fair. We're going to kind of deviate from what everybody else's top 15 list would kind of look like. And with that being said, I kind of want everybody to put their top 15 down bottom so we can, so we can compare and contrast or whatever. But Bryan Anger, now, the punter, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch, he's quietly been one of the most impactful people on this team. One, because he's a really, really good punter. Like, he really pins guys down there. But in the overall scheme of this team, this defense isn't fantastic, like, talent wise, whatever. So we just gotta put guys together, hold on, give up yards, not give up touchdowns, and make turnovers, right? And how do you get turnovers? You get turnovers by giving the offense more plays. You know what I mean? The more plays they get, the more of a chance that you have to make a turnover. And them long drives that Bryan Anger does, I can make an argument. Like, when you watch our defense, it's always long drive. If it's not a turnover, it's a long ass drive that they got to go on. And I can make an argument that Bryan Anger, field position wise, right, playing that special teams game, I can make an argument that Bryan Anger pinning other teams within the 5 and the 10, just making them have longer drives, gives us the opportunity as a defense to be impactful, to have more opportunities for turnovers. And the more, like, they got to drive 90 yards, 80 yards. That helps us as a defense. And I don't think Bryan Anger gets enough credit for that. So we're definitely gonna, give him a little bit of respect, putting him at number 8. Number 7 is your tight end 1, Dalton Schultz. And, I know I made the impact argument, and I could say that Cooper is causing this. So why isn't Cooper ahead of Schultz? Well, because, Cooper is impactful, but there's still some games where, Cooper was just blocking out there. You know what I'm saying? Coop and Lamb in those games where we had the big run games or whatever, they was out there blocking, and it wasn't a whole bunch of passing game to go around for Coop to impact that. But every single game, whether it be Dalton Schultz run blocking, defensive ends and linebackers and safeties, whoever you tell them to block, Dalton Schultz is going to block them. And even the passing games to where, the defense is going to try to take Cooper and Lamb away, it's been Dalton Schultz, man. Dalton Schultz has been right there catching what Dak throwing to him. He's got a couple drops here, but nothing too crazy. But for the most part, catching what Dak throws at him, making big plays, getting in the end zone, being that safety for him, check down guy for him. He's learned how to be yak guy too. Like, he's learned how to be smooth yak guy, because Dalton Schultz ain't fast. But when he catch the ball, he'll do like a little slip and slide, and then 3 people will just fall down. You know what I'm saying? Eagles game, if you remember. So yeah, that's super fun, having a tight end 1 again, because Jason Williams just kind of holding up space, but Dalton Schultz has really been getting it done. So I'm putting him at number 7 or whatnot. So moving on, Randy Gregory really should be paid right now. He's at number 6 right now. Every year it kind of takes Randy a little bit to get going. So we didn't see too much in the Tampa game or whatnot. He had the COVID game, in week 2 or whatever, so we didn't see him then. But since then, in terms of pressure and just terrorizing people, Randy's at the top of that list. He got 4 sacks, and I'm not going to say he should have more. He should have more. Randy Gregory should definitely have more, but teams are getting really good at getting rid of the football quickly. But there's a stat going around. I'm not great at it, but I'm sure you can go on Twitter and search it, or you can go on Google and look for it or whatever. out of the 10 fastest sacks in the league, right? Time from stance to quarterback, Randy Gregory got 2 of them. 2 of the fastest sacks in the league. And that's how you get sacks. You just got to be fast. You just got to get to it's hard to get a sack in 2.5 seconds. That's your mark. If you can't get to the quarterback in 2.5 seconds, you got to hope he's holding the football. And we just ain't been going against quarterbacks that's been holding the football like that. But Randy Gregory, in terms of impact, when he's not getting sacks, he's getting big pressure. And a lot of the times, and I could move him up for his impact or whatever, but just looking at these guys in front of him, I don't think he's going to be moved up or anything. But Randy, if you look at a lot of the interceptions on this team, it came from a Randy Gregory pressure. You can take that however you want to. I think he makes us faster at a position. Just seeing Randy and Micah running around, from the pass rush spots, from the end spots. I'm thinking about the Giants game. When Daniel Jones got to move and he rolled out. It was Micah Parsons and Randy Gregory chasing his ass, because that's how fast we are as a defense right now. Randy has a big part in that, so pay his ass immediately, expeditiously, indubitably. And the interesting thing about Zeke is that we had the same conversation about him every year except last year. Last year was a different kind of year that didn't exist, but we say the same thing about Zeke every single year when we say, he has this slow start where the first 2 games he's not great, but then he just shoots out of a cannon. We did the same. He did the same shit this year, but it's like we weren't willing to give him that pass this year. And I'm kind of in that crowd too. I take responsibility for that. Like, we'll look at Zeke and we'll be like, hey man, we need more. And I wasn't too critical. I would say, I take that back. I wasn't too critical, because in my mind I was like, this is just Dak's team now. This is just Forrest's team. So there's no need to lean on Zeke. But then we started leaning on Zeke, and Zeke was great. You know what I mean? Like, great. Catching the football, running the football. He was looking like that dude again. A lot of it has to do with the offensive line, of course, but Zeke still making people miss. Zeke, whether it be on the 4th and short, Zeke outrunning people, getting to the corner, being quick, making a guy miss. He could be them first 2 games. He should have been better making guys miss. But like I said, it takes him a while to get going. Then being that punishing back, right? Zeke lost weight, but he still gives you that punishing thing that he does, and guys just don't want to tackle him. And it's been a few occasions, a couple of games, and y'all know them because y'all been watching, where we run the game enough, we run the ball enough with Zeke, we're running, dudes start to quit. The Eagles quit, Giants quit, Panthers quit. You know what I'm saying? And all that came from putting hands on them via run game. And I think we got to give Zeke credit for that. Tony got to get his credit too, but Zeke's the main guy. And Zeke, they was half and half for a little bit, but I think Zeke got more carries in the overall end game. He's the lead guy, so we got to put respect on his name and put him right there. I know he's probably not going to be in this spot on a lot of y'all's list, but he got to be right there in line. Tyron Smith is going to be my 4 guy, and Zach Martin is my number 3 guy. Just 2 elite offensive linemen that you just don't hear shit from. We just roll up, we just play, and you don't hear nothing from them dudes. Why? Because, hey man, they're elite still, and you hear nothing from Tyron, but you hear absolutely nothing from Zach. You know what I'm saying? Zach just kind of goes in there, mauls people, and tears shit up. And I could probably make the argument that Zach is playing against less talent because teams put their best tackle against Big Connor or whatever, but now your little D tackle, your civilian, not as good D tackle, got to suffer at the hands of Zach Martin because you want to be out of control with the mismatch on the other side. And Connor still does a pretty decent job, in the run game, and we're gonna fix his passing woes or whatever. We'll be fine. But you hear absolutely nothing from Zach Martin. My thing about Tyron Smith and the general public, a lot of people just ain't never played football before. So when their opinion of Tyron Smith is the handful of times you may hear about him on Sunday, right? So when you see like a holding call from Tyron Smith, you go, damn, Tyron Smith, you gave us a holding penalty. I can look at the TV and be like, that's not holding. Just that Tyron Smith's hands are stronger than everybody else's. You're not supposed to be able to block somebody like that, and it looks like holding, right? A lot of times you watch Tyron, and I wish Game Pass had its little search function, but they're getting lazy over there. I wish you can look at Tyron Smith's holding penalties, and a lot of them are Tyron Smith is just so much better than the dude he's blocking. It just looks more explosive. It just like Tyron just makes people explode, like blow up, implode from the inside, and it looks like damn Tyron Smith holding these people. But you can definitely squeeze the shit and turn somebody like that. You can definitely choke the hell out of somebody. All that's absolutely in the rules, but referees been doing dumb shit, and it seems like we've been getting all the bad ones. So that makes me want to cry. But we do get those penalties from Tyron Smith, but fortunately we get none from Zach Martin. So we got 2 elite offensive linemen sitting at 3 and 4, but we're gonna give Zach Martin the nod because he has less penalties. Even though I feel like Tyron Smith has the tougher fights, but impact wise, they both do relatively the same thing. So those are my guys. And my number 2 pick is the defensive player of the year, Trey Diggs. And that dude has been talk about impact. Nobody's impacted the defense like Trey Diggs. Like, it's only one other dude that got an impact on the whole Cowboy thing as a whole or whatever. But this motherfucker, he got an intercept. Like, look, Trey got 7 interceptions. We're on week 8. Last week was a bye. Even not playing last week, he's still averaging an interception a week with a week off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if we just talk about games played, then that's like a pick and a quarter per game that he's averaging, right? The dude's incredible. The dude has like ball skills out of this world. He's baiting people now. His recovery speed, his length. There was a picture on Twitter. You can go on Twitter and find it. Like, it was him and Dez Bryant standing next to each other, and the motherfucker bigger than Dez Bryant. Like, he's bigger than Dez. You know what I mean? Just huge, long dude, bro. And this Dan Quinn system, maybe I can't even say that because he had 14 pass deflections last year. He just couldn't finish them all, but now he's finishing them. You know what I mean? You know, it is so weird. Like, people asking me, "Yo, Voch, when can we pay Diggs?" Like, we drafted him last year. He's a sophomore. We drafted him last year, man. Like, it's crazy. So let me just say this before I move on to my number 1 guy that y'all know who it is. I'm looking at my top 15 list, right? There's only 2 30-year-olds on my top 15 list, man. That's Zach Martin, that's Tyron Smith. Somehow Zach Martin is only a couple months younger than Tyron. Somehow. Tyron been doing this forever. But everybody else in their 20s, like late 20s, mid 20s, Osa and Micah, they're young. Diggs is young. This is what this thing is made of. You know what I mean? When you get young talent, that's when you know the future is bright. Not just the right now is bright, but the future is bright. A lot of teams, they sell their soul for these free agents, for these 29, 30-year-olds or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they try to lean on them dudes. We not leaning on 30-year-old people. We leaning on this core of young people that's going to be around for a while. Even Randy's the oldest defensive player I think we got. He like 28 or something like that. Like, bro, like, this thing has come together in such a special way, and we did it drafting. Really, we traded for Coop. Kearse and Kazee were free agents. It's like Anger, he's a punter, but everybody else was drafted, man. Schultz was a day 3 guy. You know what I'm saying? You got your first round picks here. Osa was a day 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? Tony was a day 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? Diggs is a day 2 guy. These ain't just all first round picks. Like, look at what Washington's defense is. Washington's defense is built around them first round picks. Our shit is kind of built around whoever the hell playing good, and that's just everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then think about this too, because you know who I'm about to put at number 1. If Zach Martin was on anybody else's team, he'd be the best player there. If Ezekiel Elliott was on somebody else's team, he'll probably be a top 3 guy. He's 5 here. Randy Gregory is your 6th best player. Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb is your 9th and 10th best player, according to my list. Micah Parsons is your 11th. Tony Pollard starts somewhere else, and he's our 13th best player. A motherfucker with 7 interceptions is not your best player. You know what I'm saying? Think about who we are. Think about what we have. Think about how stacked this top 10 is right now. Top 15, really. But especially this top 10. Especially this top 6. And Rain Dakota Prescott just ties all that shit up in a bow and makes it look cute. You know? I don't think Dak is a Band-Aid. You know how they call players Band-Aids, how, you know, they just cover up bad stuff or whatever. This ain't a bad team that's covered up with a good quarterback. This is a great team with an elite quarterback. If that don't scream Super Bowl this year, next year, and year after, good luck to you. Good luck to you, man. I'm just looking at these guys, and I had to think about it, bro. Like I was writing my list and I said it out loud, man. I was like, damn, Randy, my sixth best player, who's in front? And I couldn't move Zeke for him, couldn't move Tyron for him, couldn't move Zach, Diggs, and Dak for him. D-Lord, Neville Gallimore coming back. On the other side, Michael Gallup and La'el Collins coming back. Do y'all understand? Those dudes could make this list. They can make the top 15 list. If D-Law was playing, he'd be on the top 15 list. If Gallup and Collins were playing, they'd be on the top 15 list. I don't know if Neville will make the list. I don't know if Neville would have made my top 15 list. But I'd imagine. Man, listen, man, like, it ain't no more room on the bandwagon. I'm sorry. I made it very clear that we're not accepting new applications, but I will allow y'all to just kind of sit around the party. You know what I mean? Like, y'all can't come in the house, but y'all can do a little something on the front lawn or whatever. You know what I mean? But in terms of the day one supporting my Cowboys party, that's over for a lot of y'all. Salute to y'all that got in the door and got your spot quickly. But this thing's about to get real crazy, real fast. And for those of you that missed out, y'all have fun on the outside, goddamn. Y'all have fun arguing with people online if, you know, Diggs is lucky. Arguing with people online that still ain't got Dak Prescott as a top 10 or top 5 quarterback. Arguing with people online that watch First Take and shit that don't watch Cowboy football. Keep arguing with them. I don't even argue no more. I just laugh. And I'm a notorious argument guy because I always felt like I had to argue for this team. This team's so damn good. Well, who I got to argue for? Good luck to your player. Good luck to your player. Dak trash? All right. Cool falling off. We wasted the first round. Okay. Diggs is lucky? Sure, player. Another Diggs pick. Good job, player. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to you. Such and such is overrated. Cool. We just going to keep getting more W's. If you look at the 4-letter and 3-letter network, they actually have coaches that ain't got a job coaching talking about how bad of a job Mike McCarthy's doing. Mike McCarthy 5-1. Mike is 5-1. Rex Ryan at the crib. Mangini at the crib. Mariucci at the crib. Insert no job having ass coach that's an analyst now talking shit about Mike McCarthy is at the crib. Y'all better quit arguing with these people that ain't got nothing better to do. Look, man, this video long enough. I just wanted to give my top 15 and give a little commentary, man. I ain't been here because shit, it's a bye week. Bye week, we go on vacation. The key word in vacation is to vacate, but we'll be right back at it with the Vikings watch along on Halloween. So I'll see y'all then. Y'all hold down for the Doski, Wolski, and Peasky Whiskey, man. Y'all be great. Love y'all. Peace.